This video is brought to you by Osmocote, the Planters plant food.
Hi, I'm Marianne Binetti, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about houseplants. So this is an ivy plant. But let's say it's any houseplant. And one of the beginning questions is always, how do I know when it's time to transplant my houseplant? And here is the easy answer. Pick up the plant, look at the drainage holes, and look for roots. So you see these are roots. They're growing out of the pot. Now look what I'm going to do. Before I transplant, I'm just going to rip these roots right off. Yep, it seems really, really mean, but I'm doing that because now it's going to be easier to get this plant out of this 6-inch pot and transplant it into a larger pot. So the way to get a plant out of a pot when it's really kind of in there tight is to massage it like this, turn it upside down, squeeze the pot, and now it'll come out. But because it had roots, I have to pull a little bit. Now you see these roots. Now you see why this plant needed to be transplanted. Now if this was a really woody plant, or if it was a plant that had so many roots I could hardly see the soil, I would use, a saw or a serrated knife to cut the roots. They're not that bad, so I can just take my hands and pull the roots apart a little bit like that. Okay? You're just forcing those roots to quit going round in a circle. So now I'm going to put this entire root ball, it's okay if the soil falls off, into a larger pot. Now I've filled this larger pot with potting soil, but I have not yet added the fertilizer. So I use a slow-release plant food. This is called Osmocote. It's good for indoor plants and outdoor plants. And how do I know how much to use? I simply fill the cap half full with the Osmocote. This is a slow-release plant food. These little granules, when they get moist and the temperature is the right temperature for plant growth, they release the nutrients slowly. But here's what I'm going to do. Instead of sprinkling it on the top of the soil, there was a plant already in here, that's all I'll be able to do. I'm transplanting. So I'm going to remove a big wad of soil, sprinkle it down here, so I can mix it into the lower half of the soil and that part of the soil. And now I'm going to make a little hole, about the size of that root ball, and then you simply take your old plant that was in the smaller pot, place it into the larger pot, just one size larger, not a whole bunch larger because there's too much soil and not enough roots, and put it so it's growing at the same level approximately that it was growing before. So I add more soil on top of those roots, so it's at about the same level. Look what I do. I give a little tap to kind of settle the soil. Now don't stomp on it or press really hard because you can push all the air out of that soil. Just kind of hard. And then once it's been in there, you can take water and you simply water all around the edge of the pot. And so you have that soil nice and moist. And there you go. This ivy plant looks so much larger than when it was in the smaller pot, and it's going to grow so much faster. It's a great indoor houseplant. This has been Marianne Binetti with easy answers for great gardens.